Hello everybody, welcome back to another Incan video. What's happening, y'all? It's that time of the year. School is about to start, the weather is starting to get cold, allergies and sickness is starting to kick in, more drama and homework about to come through. It's a nightmare in a nutshell. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a few things that all relate to school and this YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's play school and allergy season. The first thing I want to get into is stuff about school. I don't know much about this year because I'm not in school yet. My school year starts on September 5th. I'm going into the 10th grade, sophomore year. When I went to open house a few days ago, one of my friends told me, and another good friend I was with, that on the first day of school, there's going to be weed at the secret smoking spot near a dirt trail people take to come to school. He claims that someone is going to bring like 5 blunts there, and he was willing to smoke anybody up who comes through. I would join them, but I feel like that's sketchy. Not because we might get caught, it's because I might get caught while high. In my first trimester, I have honors choir first period. To the idiots who don't know what honor choir is, sorry for calling you an idiot. It's a class where you learn how to sing and perform at concerts in places like the Target Field in Minneapolis, other schools, etc. Usually on the first day of school, all your classes is just a bunch of introductions in that we don't really do any work. Especially if it's your first year at the school. But that don't apply to me because it's my second year at the school. But if there's actual work in that class on the first day, I might be fucked. I'm pretty sketched about being high during choir in general, because on my 15th birthday, I got high and it lasted in the 3rd period, which was choir at the time. In the class, we were practicing this choreography for a concert that took place towards the end of the year. I didn't do a great job during the practice. Luckily, one of my friends in the classroom knew that I was high and was kind of supporting me by making sure I didn't fall or anything like that. The spins we were doing for the practice kept making me dizzy, and I was kind of overdoing it. Yeah, I couldn't handle weed as well as now at the time. It's pretty embarrassing. I'm probably going to smoke before school anyways, and just face class high. I've done it before, and I can do it again. Anyways, another thing I want to talk about relating to school is the freshmen. No disrespect to the freshmen this year because I'm actually cool with some of them, but the freshmen in my school look like 12-year-olds. I bullshit you not. They look like the younger version of midgets. I'm talking about barely taller than 4 feet, bro. They make me feel like I'm old, but I'm really not. I'm very young. But on the nicer side, I'm friends with some freshmen. We hang out and stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is my YouTube channel when I get to school. I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload videos a lot. Once school starts, I have to get up no later than 6 a.m. if I want time to function out of bed, take a shower, get dressed, eat, and everything else people like me do to get ready for school in the morning. But I know damn well I'm going to be waking up late every day, and it sometimes may be for good reasons. Every Wednesday, school starts 50 minutes later than it usually does, and if I have a bike, I can leave the house later and make into school in less than 10 minutes. In the winter, I'm probably gonna have to take the bus more often because it gets colder than a motherfucker here in Minnesota. In the morning of the first day of school, it's going to be 46 degrees Fahrenheit. I better start getting used to a runny nose and layering on clothes. It's gonna be ass. Anyways, to add extra time for me to make a video, I'd probably have to wake up earlier in the morning, which would be worse. Probably not even gonna be up much before school anyways, unless if I sleep right after school and wake up in the middle of the night. Anyways, I go to school, then school ends at 2:20 p.m. If I go home on a bike, I'll make it home at 2:30. On a bus though, I get home at 2:50. Since I'm the very last person to get off my bus. Sometimes on a Tuesday or Thursday, I'll stay after school for a program called Lighthouse, do my homework, and use the computer for recreational use, because the school computers perform faster than all of the computers I've ever owned. I would recommend to bring a bike that day or even get ready to walk if I stay after school, because the bus that brings me home way after school hours, they call it an activity bus. They take a long time. Lighthouse ends at 5:15, but they tell everybody to start shutting off computers at 5. I lead them because usually I'd be done with homework and been playing games on their computers. Bro, I have to wait more than 30 minutes for my bus to come. My bus is literally the last bus to show up to school during after school hours. What's worse is that the teachers will sometimes kick out those who are waiting for a ride inside and tell them to wait outside, despite it being like 30-some degrees or something. On average, my bus shows up at 5:35. Then I sit on the bus for a whole hour. For a school bus ride, an hour is long. If it was warmer out, I'd be better off walking home, since it only takes like 25 minutes. Anyways, if I don't stay after school, I usually don't do homework right away. I either hang with friends or work on a YouTube video for hours. The homework would be saved for the middle of the night or tomorrow morning before class. Sometimes I do homework first, and now that I think of it, I should do homework first when I get home more often. Because I remember back in middle school, I used to procrastinate every time I got homework. Sometimes I get it done, and sometimes I'd suffer from the consequences. Get a not so good grade, and have my mother lecture, lecture. I just don't want to procrastinate anymore. In fact, in my freshman year, sometimes I just do the homework right when they give it to me, since they sometimes give you time to do it during class anyways. On the weekends, that's when I either hang out with friends all day or work on my channel all day. Usually on Saturdays, I'm outside doing something active, and on Sundays, I go to church for hours. Then come home working on my channel and homework. And then I repeat Monday to Sunday. If breaks come along, I treat it like a weekend. Each other day, I hang out with friends, and the rest, I'm home doing YouTube things or whatever. The last thing I want to talk about is the weather. I live in Minnesota, and Minnesota is the 4th most coldest state in my country, which is the United States of America. I kid you not, if it's not summer, you have a chance of snow. From September to May, from autumn to spring, from Labor Day to Macaron Day. I'm not kidding. There were years where we spent 3/4 of a year with cold weather and snow all over the place. And what's worse is that whenever you're in school, especially high school, you have to get up early and wait for your bus outside in the morning, unless you're legally eligible to drive to school by yourself. In Minnesota, the mornings, more specifically 6 or 7 in the morning, are the coldest part of each day. So every school morning, I have to freeze up just to wait for my bus to come through. Damn, 46 degrees really does sound cold. I need a jacket for that. Well, that's it for this video. If y'all like this video, please like. If y'all new to this channel, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at KiddoPlux. Follow me on Snapchat at KidIncan. Join me on my Discord. All the links will be in the description below. Share this video to anybody who got school going on. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Sauce.